Fay winds and throws. Little pops it up. Fay calls for it and takes it. Wilmington wins the state championship.
Last year, Wilmington High School got their first ever state championship as the girls' varsity softball team defeated Mount Greylock 6-3. Adrian Fay, then a junior at Wilmington High School, was the Wildcats' dominant starter with a near-perfect record of 20-2. Now, Fay is back and better than ever. In a regular season game against Chelmsford, she struck out 14 while pitching a one-hit shutout and getting the win 1-0.
Struck out 4 in the last 2 innings. That's strike 3. That was strike 3. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. She's pitched by Fay. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. 2. Pitch. Strike call. Face stroke. And that's strike 3. 14 strikeouts for Adrian. 1-0 over Chelmsford.
In what was sure to be one of the most exciting pitching duels of the playoffs, Adrian met up with Reading's Jamie Bergen, who was determined to lead Reading to a state championship.
2 strikes, Fay going for her 40th career win. The pitch. Strike 3! Take a seat.
Wilmington got off to an early 1-0 lead and dominated the first 6 innings, but they failed to increase their lead as Reading tried to come back.
With runners at second, you can't get any better than this. Runners are at second and third. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on, 1-0 Wilmington. The pitch popped up in our direction. Nice catch by a fan.
In the bottom of the final inning, Reading rallied, with runners at second and third, 2 outs, and her team down by 1. Reading's Jill Fieri tried to give her team the win.
For Wilmington, trying to hold the lead with runners at second and third. Bottom of the 7th inning, the last inning. Line drive. She makes the catch. Wilmington will move on to the 4th round after a dramatic finish, eliminating Reading. And Wilmington will play the winner of Westford Academy and Stoneham.
Wilmington eventually advanced to the state championship. Now they'll be faced with one final challenge. Can they become state champions for a 2nd consecutive year? Coming up next on Sports Roundup, Wilmington takes on Mount Greylock for the Division II state championship.
Oh my God! Oh my God! What a save! Unbelievable! I thought for sure he had the goal. Yes.
And throws. Little pops it up. Fay calls for it. Takes it. Wilmington wins the state championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Spencer's O'Gara Park for the 1994 Division II Softball State Championship. Today's game pits the Mount Greylock Mounties versus the Wilmington Wildcats. Mount Greylock won a toss earlier and was elected to be the home team. So first, the non-starters for the Wildcats. Number 1, Amy Surran. Number 2, Kelly Lender. Number 5, Julie Gillis. Number 7, Jill Rojek. Number 12, Jackie Hayden. Number 14, Lindsay Courier. Number 17, Melissa Palermo. And number 18, Kristen Roach. And now the non-starters for the Mounties. And number 1, Jen Whipple. Number 3, Jen Suave. Number 5, Liz Tosted. Number 2, Danielle Weed. Number 11, Desiree Bellotta. Number 10, Brenda Shoestock. Number 19, Carissa White. Number 4, Rebecca Rivers. And number 17, Danielle Collins. The head coach for the Wilmington Wildcats is Paul Lyman. Wilmington has a record of 23 wins and 2 losses. And now, their starting lineup. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 11, Laurie Southmayd. Batting second, playing left field, number 13, Erin Valzoni. Batting third, playing second base, number 9, Nancy Pote. The cleanup hitter and pitcher, number 15, Adrienne Fay. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 6, Leanne Harris. Batting sixth, number 8, the catcher, Lisa Southmayd. The 7th batter and the designated player, number 3, Stacy Gillis. Batting 8, playing third base, number 4, Nicole Dussault. Batting 9, playing right field, number 10, Kelly O'Donnell. And playing first base but not hitting, number 16, Jacqueline Holloway. And now the starting lineup for the Greylock Mounties. Leading off, playing center field, number 12, Jessica Jackson. Batting second and pitching, number 14, Karen Rice. Batting third, playing first base, number 9, Karen Horton. The cleanup hitter plays right field, number 21, Brooke Boudreau. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 18, Jessica Johnson. The 6th batter, playing second base, number 16, Stacy Tucker. Batting 7th and playing third base, number 13, Jen Bump. Batting 8th, playing left field, number 7, Lynn Claremont. And batting 9th and catching on number 15, Trisha Little. The head coach for Mount Greylock is Sherry Shear, and their record is 21 wins, 0 losses. Today's umpires behind the plate, Mr. Paul Joseph. Calling the plays at third base, Dennis Kazara. And calling the plays at first base, Mr. Gus Chester. Would you now all please rise for the playing of the national anthem?
Good afternoon and welcome to O'Gara Park in Spencer, Massachusetts to today's Division II state final game between the Wilmington Wildcats and the Mount Greylock Mounties. We've already had the introductions and the playing of the national anthem, so we're ready to begin here momentarily. By virtue of a coin toss, Mount Greylock will be the home team. Wilmington, Merrimack Valley champions, bring a 22-2 record into today's game, and Mount Greylock brings a 22-0 record into today's game. The only common opponent the teams played this year was Bishop Fenwick. Greylock defeated Fenwick, and Wilmington lost 5-4 in 9 innings to Bishop Fenwick. So that's the only common opponent. This is a rematch of last year's state final game, which Wilmington won 6-3.
Both teams take the field.
So we're momentarily set to begin here as Greylock takes the field. Pitching for Greylock will be Karen Rice. And of course she's undefeated this year, as is the team. And we'll give you a defensive set for Greylock. As we said, Rice is pitching. And catching, we're going to have Trisha Little down at first base. We're going to have Karen Horton. Over at second base, we'll have Stacy Tucker. The shortstop will be Jessica Johnson. At third base, we'll have Jennifer Bump. In left field, we'll have Lynn Claremont. In center field, we have Jessica Jackson. And over in right field, we'll have Brooke Boudreau. This is a veteran Greylock club in that everybody is returning. They didn't graduate any seniors from last year's team. So they've got some experience at this level. This is the third year in a row they've come to the state finals. And this will be the second year for Wilmington. Greylock has yet to win a state final, and of course Wilmington won last year. And we're just about set to begin here as co-captain number 11, Laurie Southmayd, steps in for Wilmington. And Southmayd steps in. Rice steps to the mound, and we're set to begin. First pitch of the game is in there for a strike. Count is 0-1 now on Southmayd as we are ready for the second pitch of the game. And it's a ground ball to shortstop. Johnson up with it, throws over to Horton, and we have one down.
Come on, Aaron, start us off, Aaron.
And that'll bring up number 13, Erin Falzone, stepping in from the left-hand side against Rice. Rice turns around, checks her defense, steps to the rubber, and gets ready to deliver it. Falzone offers it a bunt and misses. It's strike one. Steps in again, Falzone does, and Rice pitches, bunted foul down the third base line. Coach Lyman picks it up and puts the ball back in play. Count runs to 0-2 now on Falzone. Aaron looks down the line, gets signed from Coach Lyman, steps into the box, and here's Rice up to deliver. It's fouled off by Falzone. Count remains 0-2. Aaron is the left fielder, and she's ready for the 0-2 delivery again from Karen Rice. Tie. Ball one. Falzone's back in the box. Rice is on the mound. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball two. So Falzone now has worked the count to 2-2. And she's ready for the 2-2 pitch. It's a fly ball to short left field, and it's dropped. Shortstop Jessica Johnson tried to take that ball over her shoulder. Very difficult play for her. And it drops in, and Falzone ends up on second base. Difficult play. I would assume that might be scored a hit. We have no ruling from the official scorer. And it'll bring up number 9, Nancy Pote. Number 3 hitter for Wilmington, who plays second base. First pitch to Pote's in there for a strike.
Come on, Nance, put her in there.
And Rice steps up to pitch to Pote again. Down in the dirt, ball 1. Nice stop by the catcher Little. Keep the runner on second base, Erin Falzone from advancing. 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Erin Falzone on second base, Nancy Pote the hitter with a 1-1 count. Pote punts the ball. It's down the first third base line. Pitcher Rice has trouble fielding it, and Pote beats it out for a hit. And Nancy Pote takes second base, and Rice, the pitcher for Greylock, does not throw the ball. And that gives Wilmington a bona fide scoring threat here with 1 out in the top of the first inning with 2 runners on base, and brings up Adrian Fay. The Greylock squad confers at the mound. The entire infield is there, and they're going to work out their strategy, and now the umpire goes out to break them up, and we'll get the game rolling here. So Wilmington has mounted a strong threat here with a bloop single and a bunt. With runners at second and third now, and now it brings up the cleanup hitter, pitcher Adrian Fay. First pitch to Fay is a pop-up into center field. Second baseman takes it. That's Stacy Tucker. So now there are 2 outs, and Greylock has an opportunity to now get out of this jam that they're in. That brings up number 6, Leanne Harris, with 2 outs now in the top of the first inning. And Rice steps to the rubber. Harris steps into the box, and we're ready to shoot. And it's a pop-up foul out of beyond third base by Leanne Harris. Okay, pitches. It's 1 strike now on Leanne Harris. And Harris takes a signal from Coach Lyman. Rice checks the ball, turns, steps to the rubber, and is ready to throw the 0-1 pitch to Harris. And here it is. It's a bunt by Harris, and fielded by Karen Rice, throw to first base, and Harris is retired. A close play. Looked like the correct call, though. Okay, and Wilmington's threat goes by the board, and Greylock comes up in the bottom of the first inning. And Wilmington had 1 hit and 1 error according to the official score, so Falzone's hit must have been ruled an error. We'll accept the defensive alignment now for Wilmington. Pitching for Wilmington is number 15, Adrian Fay. Catching is number 8, Lisa Southmayd. Down at first base is number 16, Jacqueline Holloway. Jacqueline's a default today. She'll not be hitting. Over at second base is number 9, Nancy Pote. The shortstop is number 11, Laurie Southmayd. And at third base is number 4, Nicole Dussault. Out in left field is number 13, Erin Falzone. In center field is number 6, Leanne Harris. And in right field is number 10, Kelly O'Donnell. And that sets the defensive alignment for Wilmington. First Greylock batter of the game, Mount Greylock batter, will be Jessica Jackson. Jackson is the center fielder.
Leading out, number 12, Jessica Jackson.
Key player out there for Mount Greylock, has a strong arm. As I recall from last year, has a pretty good bat. She hit the ball twice very hard last year against Fay. Fay steps to the rubber, and the first pitch to Jackson is a base hit into center field. Harris up with the ball, throws it into Pote at second base. And Nancy Pote threw the ball on the relay, and it went over the first baseman Jacqueline Holloway's head, and Jackson takes second base. Oh, a little bit of the jitters there for Wilmington. Jackson appeared to be standing right on the base. And that brings up the pitcher now, Karen Rice. Fay's pitch is swung on and offered out as a bunt and missed by Rice, strike one. Fay and Holloway were shot at the corners. Fay and Dussault were shot at the corners, and Southmayd had moved over to cover third base from her shortstop position. And they're in again, and the wind and the pitch, they offered the bunt. It's down and fouled by Jackson. That runs the count to 0-2 on Karen Rice. Jackson had halfway to third base on that one. Had the ball gone fair, they would have had no opportunity at her. So now we have an 0-2 count on Karen Rice. Wilmington is still shot at the corners, still expecting that she might bunt. And the wind from Fay and the pitch, it's fouled off the first base side, out of play. Rice gets the signal from the coach, steps back in, and Fay steps the rubber. And Rice steps out, time is called. Okay, now she steps back in there. We're ready for the 0-2 pitch. And the pitch is a changeup, hit the shortstop. Southmayd tags the runner out, and Jackson is out. Nice play by Southmayd, unassisted, knocked down the lead runner, and that puts Karen Rice on first base now with one out, and it brings up Karen Horton. Okay, Fay steps the rubber, and Horton is up. Pitch is in there from Fay, strike one from Horton, with Karen Rice on first base. The 0-1 pitch from Fay. It's popped back behind the plate, out of play. Strike two. Okay, the count is 0-2 now on Karen Horton, with Karen Rice on first base. Time is out. Going to have the fouled off ball put back in play. Thrown to Lisa Southmayd. She gives it to the umpire. And Fay wanted the other ball back. The new ball is probably a little bit slippery. And she winds for the 0-2 pitch. Change up, a little bit high. Horton takes it. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Fay steps the rubber again. Horton is there to pitch. Receive the pitch. It's a high. Ball 2. So the count is now 2-2 with a runner on first base and 1 out in the bottom of the first inning with no score. And pitch is high from Fay, ball 3. So the count is full. Be interested to see if Mount Greylock puts anything on with a 3-2 pitch, if they try to steal or something. And pitch is in there, fouled off. The runner was holding as Horton fouled that pitch off. Pretty good pitch from Adrian. And then we step up again to a 3-2 pitch. Adrian Fay winds and comes to the plate. A little bit high, but fouled off. She swung and fouled it into the glove of Lisa Southmayd. Goes to the strikeout. And that'll bring up Brooke Boudreau. Hey, Boudreau steps into the box, isn't quite ready. Now signifies she is. Fay winds, and her first pitch to Boudreau is high, ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Boudreau. Little inside and low. Ball 2. Okay, the 2-0 pitch to Boudreau from Fay. Tie, ball 3. So Fay has run the count to 3-0 on Boudreau with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, and Karen Rice on first base. And the 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Okay, Fay working quickly, steps the rubber again and is ready to throw the 3-1 pitch. It's in there again. It's a ground ball up the middle. Pote takes the ball. Nice play and steps on second base to retire Rice for fielder's choice out, retiring the side in the bottom of the first inning. So after 1 inning of play, it's no score. Both teams mounted mild threats. Greylock on a hit and an error by Pote. Had a runner on second base with nobody out, but a nice play by Southmayd at shortstop. Erased her before she could do any damage. And then Adrian Fay settled down and they worked out of the inning. Yeah, we're just about ready to begin here in the top of the second inning as Wilmington comes to bat. Leading off Wilmington will be the catcher, Lisa Southmayd. She'll be followed by Stacy Gillis, the designated player, and by third baseman Nicole Dussault. And Southmayd steps in, and Rice steps to the rubber and ready to begin. And the pitch from Rice is high. Ball 1 to Lisa Southmayd. Rice gets the ball back. Doesn't seem to work quite as quickly as Fay does. And the pitch, Southmayd, is a ground ball. Foul ball. Just outside third base. It was hard to tell there for a minute. It looked like Jennifer bumped the third baseman, was going to touch it in fair ground, but it just dipped under her glove, and she's playing so far in front of third base that it did go foul by the time it reached third base. So almost a good chance for Wilmington. And the count is now 1-1 on Lisa Southmayd as she steps in. And Rice steps up, and the pitch is lined into right field. And it goes over the right fielder's head, rolling all the way to the fence. Southmayd takes a turn round first, round second base, and is going to be into third base, standing up with a triple. That ball was hit deep to the opposite field over the head of right fielder Brooke Boudreau. Seemed like Boudreau hesitated a minute and didn't get a chance to get back on the ball properly. But it'll go as a 3-base hit for Lisa Southmayd, leading off the second inning for Wilmington. And last inning, Wilmington had runners on second and third with 1 out and field to score. And this inning, they have the leadoff runner on third base with nobody out. And Stacy Gillis is up. Gillis takes a strike. Now Stacy steps back into the box, gets ready to hit, and Rice comes, and Gillis pops it back, out of play. And the count is now 0-2 to Stacy Gillis. Hopefully she'll get some kind of contact here, Gillis will, and move Lisa Southmayd in to score. And the pitch from Rice is in there. It's a line drive, sharply hit ball by Stacy Gillis, and it was taken by Jessica Johnson at shortstop. Johnson had to leave her feet a little bit. It was a nice play and a very hard hit ball by Stacy Gillis. They'll now bring up number 4, Nicole Dussault, in to face Karen Rice. Okay, Dussault steps in to face Rice. Rice steps to the rubber, and here comes the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Dussault steps out, takes a sign from Coach Lyman. Now gets back into the box for the 0-1 pitch. Dussault squared the bunt a little bit, but held back. The pitch was obviously high right from the start. And ball one. Dussault again takes the sign. It wouldn't be surprised to see her bunt. And she swings away, goes back to the mound. And Lisa Southmayd gets hung up at third base. And she's tagged out on the rundown. Dussault takes second. Ball was originally fielded by the pitcher, Karen Rice. And Lisa Southmayd got caught off third base. Unfortunately for Wilmington, the damage isn't too great as Dussault takes second base. And it brings up number 10, Kelly O'Donnell. O'Donnell's playing right field today. Rice steps up, pitches. First pitch is high. Ball one. 1-0 pitch is low and outside. Ball two to O'Donnell. So O'Donnell's worth the count to 2-0. Kelly, a good contact hitter. Takes ball three low and outside. So now with 2 outs and no score on the top of the second inning, with Nicole Dussault on second base and a 3-0 count on Kelly O'Donnell, Rice steps to the rubber for the 3-0 offering. It's high, ball four. So Wilmington now has 2 runners with 2 outs. And it'll be back to the top of the order for Laurie Southmayd.
Number 11, Laurie Southmayd.
Southmayd is a junior co-captain, shortstop. Made a nice play in the bottom of the first inning, tagging out a runner on a ground ball to her.
What'd she do first time, Jamie?
Her first time up, Southmayd ground out the shortstop. She hits another pop-up, back out of play. So the count is 1 strike on Southmayd now with 2 outs in the top of the second and no score. Left fielder moves back quite a bit for Laurie. And it's a ground ball out towards second base. And Stacy Tucker picks it up and throws over to Karen Horton, and we have side retired. So at the end of 1.5 innings, score is still Mount Greylock 0, Wilmington 0.
Wilmington, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runs on after 1.5, 0-0.
As we start at the bottom of the second, Jessica Johnson steps in for Mount Greylock. She'll be followed by Stacy Tucker and Jennifer Bump. And Faye steps to the rubber, and the first pitch to Johnson is in there for a strike.
Jessica Johnson.
Johnson is a shortstop. And the pitch is a ground ball, a shortstop, way deep in the hole. No chance for Southmayd to throw out. She made a nice play going way deep in the hole and couldn't quite plant and get a strong throw off. So Johnson beats that out for an infield hit. And that'll bring up Stacy Tucker. Tucker was the second baseman. And Faye steps to the rubber, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike one. Adrian Faye steps up, winds and throws. It's in there, strike two. So the count now is 0-2 to Stacy Tucker. And Faye steps up for the 0-2. It's fouled back out of play. Count remains 0-2 on Tucker. And Adrian steps up and throws. It's again fouled off by Tucker. Seems like she tried to throw a drop or something. Seemed to take a little bit off of that pitch. And it's still 0-2. Changeup. It's popped up towards first baseman. Jacqueline Holloway takes the ball right on the base almost. And Jessica Johnson returns to first base. And now batting is number 13, Jen Bump, the third baseman. Jen grooms the box a little bit for herself. And now she steps in. And of course, Adrian is always ready with that ball as soon as she is. And the first pitch to Bump is high. Bump was tempted to go for that ball, but did lay off of it, and it was high for a ball. Pitch to Fay. By Fay to Bump is a little bit low. Ball 2. So we have a 2-0 count. A Jen Bump. And the pitch is right back to the mound. Oh, deflects off Fay's glove, goes into left field. And throw by Falzone is over third baseman Nicole Dussault's head, alertly backed up by pitcher Adrian Fay. And Bump takes second base. That was a case of possibility of getting right out of the inning. Now we have runners at second and third. That ball was hit back to Adrian. She couldn't quite handle it, went off her glove, and Southmayd had gone over to second base to cover the bag, and the ball deflected through the vacated spot. So that'll bring up Lynn Claremont. Claremont bunts, and ball was bunted right back to Fay, and Fay threw high and wide to Southmayd, and went right by, and the runner, Jessica Johnson, scored. So Greylock takes a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. And Mount Greylock still has a threat going. It was not a particularly good bunt by Claremont, but it was a suicide squeeze all the way. Johnson was running with the pitch and never stopped, and caught Wilmington a little bit flat-footed there and threw the ball too late. Now Coach Lyman is now to speak with the team. And Wilmington really has made its second error. That's very uncharacteristic of Wilmington in 2 innings. They're normally keyed by a very tight defense. So, having given that strategy, wouldn't be surprised now with number 9 hitter Tricia Little up if Mount Greylock doesn't try to bunt again. Well, our first base is Jen Bump, so we have first and third situation here, and it's a good situation to try something. We'll see what happens. Fay steps up, winds, and it's strike. And Bump takes second base. Wilmington had a trick play on where Southmayd, the shortstop, cuts in behind the mound and cuts the throw off. But runner on third base, Jen Bump, wasn't having any of it, and she stayed put. So now Mount Greylock has runners on second and third base. And the batter, Tricia Little, grounds it foul outside first base. So the count is now 0-2 on Little, with 2 runners in scoring position for Greylock, and they already have a 1-0 lead. The 0-2 pitch is a little bit low, taken by Little. The count runs to 1-2. Adrian steps up, 1-2 pitch. Foul back. Fay steps up for the 1-2 pitch. And it's popped foul off the first base side and out of play. So the Greylock batters are doing a pretty good job of, I think, frustrating Adrian a little bit. They're fouling off a lot of the two-strike pitches that she's getting. And that one again was fouled off. And it moved just a little bit too much for Lisa Southmayd to hang on to it. So the count remains 1-2. As Trisha Little has fouled off 3 pitches with 2 strikes on her. And Faye steps up again. And here comes the pitch. It's grounded to first base, foul. Jacqueline Holloway picked it up in foul ground. Might have been an interesting play had it been fair, because Holloway fielded it very cleanly, come up with it quickly. There could have been a play at the plate when it looked like she was going to come. So now Little has fouled off 4 two-strike pitches in a row. Changeup is hit back to the mound. This time, Faye makes certain of the throw, and they nail Jen Bump at the plate for the second out. Ball was hit right back to Adrian. She straightened up and threw a nice strike right to Lisa Southmayd, and Lisa barely had to move her glove to make the tag. Retiring Bump. That'll bring up Jessica Jackson. She had a hit her first time up. Jessica is a center fielder and a dangerous hitter in this situation. And Adrian steps up, and the pitch is high. Okay. Ball went straight back off the dasher back here and came right back to Southmayd. It allowed Trisha Little to take second base, but the runner on third base did not advance. She's made a good attempt, but stopped when realized Southmayd come up with the ball very cleanly. And the pitch to Jackson is popped foul along the first base side, not a play. Makes the count 1-1. Hey, and Faye's ready to throw again. The 1-1 pitch is line to shortstop. Southmayd, a long throw to Holloway. Great play by Laurie Southmayd on a short hop. Come up with the ball, and that was a critical play because Jackson really hit that ball hard. And 2 runs could have scored had Southmayd not made that play. A very, very good play by Laurie Southmayd to retire Jessica Jackson. Jackson seems to have Faye's number. Again, as I stated earlier, she hit the ball very well against her last year and has a hit today and just scorched one to the shortstop. So, at the end of 2, Mount Greylock has a 1-0 lead. They're ready to go here in the top of the 3rd. Erin Falzone will be the first batter for Wilmington. She'll be followed by Nancy Pote and Adrian Faye. Last time up, Erin had a slicing pop-up out behind shortstop that shortstop Jessica Johnson tried to make an over-the-shoulder running catch and couldn't quite handle it. Went for a 2-base error. Yeah, we're ready to begin here on the top of the 3rd. As Karen Rice steps up to the mound and Erin Falzone steps into the batter's box. First pitch of the 3rd inning is in there for a strike call. Rice does not have any strikeouts yet. Does not appear to be overpowering. Wilmington appears able to get the bat on the ball pretty well. Falzone drills a shot into center field. Base hit. Nice hit for Erin Falzone. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, number 9, Nancy Pote. First time up, Nancy Pote got a bunt single. And that brings Jen Bump almost in on top of her at third base. Could be a dangerous play because Nancy's a pretty good hitter. And Pote squares the bunt again. Bunts it down the first base line. And Pote beats it out for a hit. And that's been Wilmington's strategy so far, is to get the other team rattled. That ball was rolling down the line and was going to go foul, but Rice picked it up. Had she let it roll, had Rice let that ball roll, it would have went foul. And now, Falzone advances to third base. And Pote takes second as Rice threw the ball in her glove, picked it up with her glove, and kind of back flipped it to the first baseman, Karen Horton. So Wilmington has a tremendous threat going here with runners on second and third and nobody out in the third inning. And it brings up the cleanup hitter, Adrian Fay. Fay steps in, Rice steps up, but the catcher, Trisha Little, is not quite ready yet, adjusting her helmet. And now we're ready to go. Ground ball back to the mound. And now, too hard hit by Fay. It was a good shot up the middle, but Rice fielded the ball well and held the runner at third base and threw Fay out. That'll bring up the 5-hitter, number 6, Leanne Harris. And the pitch from Rice. Fade. Harris drives one over the third base bag. Falzone scores, Pote scores, and Harris ends up with a second base with a double. That's a case for a gin bump. The third baseman came in a little bit too far, and Harris just turned on it and drove the ball right by her. So Wilmington now has scored 2 runs in the top of the third inning. Harris has advanced to second base. There's 1 out, and Lisa Southmayd is up. Last time up, Lisa Southmayd hit a long triple to right field. And Southmayd swings and fouls it off the third base side.
Molly!
Oh, Wilmington up there getting their hacks this inning for sure. And bump is in again at third base. Change up from Rice. Up high. The count is 1-1 on Lisa Southmayd. Lisa is the catcher. She's a freshman. She's had a tremendous year this year, both hitting and fielding. And she fouls one down the left field line. So the count is 0-2 now on Lisa. She's gotten her bat on the ball quite well both times. And she'll step in with an 0-2 count. Excuse me, 1-2. And Karen Rice steps up, and she throws, and it's a ground ball down past the shortstop. Harris will take third base. Shortstop Jessica Johnson couldn't field it, and Southmayd takes second base. That was deep in the hole. I don't think that Johnson could have made a play on her anyways. Yeah, they rule it a base hit. The only thing her not coming up with that ball did is it allowed the runners to advance to second and third. Had she come up with it cleanly, they would have only been on second and third. So now we have Harris on third base, Southmayd on second, 1 out, and Stacy Gillis at the bat. And Stacy hit a tremendous shot to the shortstop last time that Johnson fielded and made a play, and just didn't have any luck on that hit. She hit it very hard. Oh, pitch is fouled off, back off the screen by Stacy Gillis. Looked like she took kind of a slap swing at that. That was just kind of a baby swing. I think she wanted to see if she could get the defense moving a little bit and maybe tap it through an open hole. And Jen bumped the third baseman is again way in at third base. Gillis hits the ball back to the mound. And the throwing. Okay, the ball back to the mound. Rice picked it up, threw it to first base. Karen Horton. Horton returned the throw to the plate, and they retired. Southmayd sliding in. So the rest of the Wilmington threat goes by the board, but they do come up with 2 runs and take the lead.
Friends on 4 hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. The score, Wilmington 2, Mount Greylock 1.
So the Wildcats, after 2.5 innings of play, have taken the lead 2-1. And again, it doesn't appear right now at this point in time that Karen Rice is any mystery to the Wildcat bats. They had 4 hits that inning and 1 each in each of the first 2 innings, so they have 6 hits through 3 innings. As Wilmington confers, we get ready to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. Coming up for Mount Greylock will be pitcher Karen Rice. She'll be followed by Karen Horton and Brooke Boudreau. Been a lot of activity in this game so far. There have been no 1, 2, 3 innings. The umpire calls timeout, looks towards the Wilmington bench for something. Oh, the first base umpire wasn't quite ready to begin. And Rice steps in. Fay steps up. And the first pitch is off-speed pitch, hit down to Dussault. Dussault over to Holloway, 1 down. So we have 1 pitch, we have 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. And that'll bring up first baseman Karen Horton. Fay winds the pitch, a little bit high. That looked pretty close, but it just a little bit high. Fay winds the 1-0 pitch, off speed, looked like it could have been a drop. Is a little bit low for ball 2. So we have a 2-0 count on Karen Horton. Okay. Fay pours the 2-0 pitch right in there for a strike. And the 2-1 pitch. Right in there again, strike 2. So, Fay delivers the 2-2 pitch to Karen Horton. Change up, a little bit high, ball 3. Nice pitch. Horton cocked her bat a little bit. Looked like she was ready to go, but it came in a little bit high and she held back. Oh, 3-2 pitch to Horton. Right down the middle, strike 3. Horton's out. And we now have 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. And nobody on base. We're in jeopardy of having our first 1, 2, 3 inning of the day. As Brooke Boudreau steps in. Off-speed pitch, and it's drilled out over Falzone's head. Boudreau is headed towards second base and will end up there with a double. So, Boudreau gets a 2-out double. Falzone looked like she froze there. The ball was almost out to her before she moved. Looks like we're going to get a pinch runner as the Mount Greylock coach approaches the, it's Sherry Shear, the head coach, approaches, and we're going to have, entering the game, number 2, Danielle Weed, an 8th grader who catches. And she'll be running for Boudreau.
Pinch running, number 2, Danielle Weed. Running to the glove.
Now up is number 18, Jessica Johnson, the shortstop. Off-street pitch, right then there for a strike. This inning, Fay has gone to mixing speeds a little more than she had earlier in the game. And it seems like when she's her most effective is when she mixes. And changeup is high to Johnson. The count is 1-1. And Johnson tried to hold up but couldn't. And strike 2, 1-2. Oh, face seems to have loosened up a little bit. She has that characteristic smile back on her face. It was gone for the first 2 innings. And it's a pop-up towards shortstop, Laurie Southmayd. Southmayd camps under it, makes the catch to retire the side. So Wilmington gets out of that inning a little bit unscathed, despite the double by Brooke Boudreau. That concludes 3 innings of play, and Wilmington has a 2-1 lead. Leading off Wilmington here in the 4th inning will be number 4, the third baseman, Nicole Dussault. She'll be followed by the number 9 here, number 10, Kelly O'Donnell. And then back to the top of the order for Laurie Southmayd. As Greylock catcher Trisha Little throws the ball down. Dussault looks down to Coach Lyman, takes the sign. They're ready to begin the 4th inning now as Dussault steps in. Nicole's the third baseman. Number 4, the eighth hitter in the lineup. First pitch from Rice is outside, ball 1. One 0 pitch is high, ball 2 to Dussault.
Yes.
Highest ball, ball 3. 3-0 to Nicole Dussault. 3-0 pitch is high, ball 4. Wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Lyman bring in Julie Gillis here to run. That's been his strategy late in the ball game, or as the game gets going. Oh, he's going to bring in Melissa Palermo to run. Okay, number 17, Melissa Palermo will enter the game to run for Nicole Dussault. You can be certain that Dussault will be re-entering the game at third base defensively. It'll bring up Kelly O'Donnell. O'Donnell handles the bat very well, and you can almost be certain she'll be bunting or chopping at the ball, doing something that some kind of play will be on here. Palermo's running. The ball is down. Palermo steals second base. Good jump by Palermo. The throw by Trish Little bounced. Johnson took it on a hop, but Melissa Palermo, with her quick speed, get in there ahead of the throw. As O'Donnell squared the bunt, didn't offer, and again, I expect to see something on as O'Donnell does handle the bat very well. Good bunter, good slap bunter. Squares the bunt, pops it up, handled by Horton, by Trish Little, sorry, the catcher. And she's out. But the desired effect did take place originally to get Palermo into scoring position. And it brings up the leadoff hitter, number 11, the shortstop, Laurie Southmayd. Pitch is high to Southmayd. Southmayd has grounded out twice, once to the shortstop and once to the second baseman. So she's about due. Ball is high. Southmayd steps out. Takes the sign from Coach Lyman, now steps back in. Rice steps up. Throws the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Count is 2 balls and a strike to Southmayd. Pitch is high, ball 3. So how Southmayd should get a pitch that she likes to see here. Pitches over the outside corner, strike 2. So the count is run full on Southmayd. Full count on Laurie Southmayd with Melissa Palermo at second base. And she drives one fair down the third base line. Palermo will score easily. Ball's going to roll all the way out of the ballpark for a ground rule double. Okay. Ball rolled outside the fence, way down in left field. The fence ends at the foul line, and it's ruled a ground rule double. That's one was drilled past the outfielder. Southmayd may have had a shot at a triple, but in any case, Palermo, who was running for Dussault, scores. Wilmington takes a 3-1 lead. Southmayd is on second base, and it brings up Erin Falzone. Erin has been on base twice today by virtue of a two-base error on the shortstop and a hard single up the middle to center field. The coaches are all conferring. The Mount Greylock coach, Sherry Scherer, is out there conferring with Karen Rice and catcher Trish Little. And Wilmington just had an offensive discussion with Coach Lyman, Coach Townsend, and Erin Falzone. So number 2 hitter up. The only Wilmington left fielder, Erin Falzone. Pitch is high, ball 1. Rice steps up with a 1-0 pitch. It's drilled out towards shortstop. And Jessica Johnson makes the play over to Karen Horton to retire Falzone. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, second baseman Nancy Pote. Nancy has 2 bunt singles. One of them was a big one the last inning, which really Rice kind of misplayed. First pitch to Pote is in there for a strike. There's 2 outs here. Top of the 4th inning. Wilmington has taken a 3-1 lead. Laurie Southmayd is on second base, and Nancy Pote is at the plate. Rice winds and throws. It's fouled off at the plate by Nancy Pote. The count runs to 2 strikes. So Karen Rice steps up now. Pote's in the box, ready to hit. And she hits a long fly ball towards left field. Left fielder Lynn Claremont makes the play to retire Nancy Pote. The ball had a lot of power under it, just a little bit too much up in the air. Had it been down a little bit, it might have gone out of here. So Wilmington is up with 1 run on the top of the 4th, and after 3.5, leads 3-1. Wilmington has a defensive change as we begin the bottom of the 4th inning. We now have number 12, Jacqueline Hayden, playing right field. And we get a picture of Jacqueline out there. She replaces Kelly O'Donnell, who batted last inning and now has left the game. Brings up Stacy Tucker from Mount Greylock to begin the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Fay is a little low. Ball 1. Little low and inside, ball 2. To Stacy Tucker. Next pitch is grounded right back to Adrian Fay, who throws it over to Lindsay Currier, who's gone in to play first base. That was Currier. We didn't pick up that defensive change. We'll try to get you a shot at Currier now, who went in to play first base, relieving Jacqueline Holloway. There she is. As you can see, Lindsay's a junior. Pitches when she's not playing first base. Brings up third baseman Jim Bump from Mount Greylock. chin bump, hits a fly ball towards left field. Aaron Falzone camps under it, makes the catch, and we have 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
Number 4, Nicole Dussault has re-entered the game for Wilmington.
Brings up Lynn Claremont.
Number 7.
Claremont got on a fielder's choice her first trip up. It's fouled up in the air. Dussault makes the call and makes the play and foul ground. Almost a little confusion there, but Southmayd started out for it. The catcher and Fay started over, but Nicole Dussault called for it loud and clear. It was clearly her ball, and she took it to retire Mount Greylock for the first time, 1-2-3. At the end of 4 innings complete, we have a score of Wilmington Wildcats 3, the Mount Greylock Mounties 1. Okay, we're just about set to begin here in the top of the 5th. As we begin the top of the 5th, Adrian Fay, the pitcher, co-captain, gets ready to step in. Adrian's a senior. He'll be going to Merrimack College next fall. Hey. Adrian steps in. Karen Rice gets set to deliver the first pitch of the 5th inning. Over the outside corner. Strike. Looked like it could have been a little bit low and outside, but I guess the umpire had a better view than I did. Oh, and Rice changes speed on Fay. Good pitch, and it was close. Adrian took it, though, and it was just outside the strike zone. And Fay drills a ball up to center field. Cut off by Jessica Jackson, thrown into second base, and Fay leads off the 5th inning with a single. That'll bring up Leanne Harris. Leanne has grounded out and smacked a 2-run double just inside third base. Okay, coming into the game running for Adrian Fay will be number 18, Kristen Roach. Kristen's a sophomore. And she'll get her opportunity to get into the tournament game here. As Leanne Harris steps in against Karen Rice. Harris squared the bunt. Pitch was in high, but she fouled it off for a strike. Ball was a little higher than we would have liked to have seen her bunted. You tend to pop those up if you do bunt them. And Harris is in again. And the pitch is even higher this time. Roach is running. And throw is wide, but Jessica Johnson had the base blocked and actually tackled Roach to keep her off the base. So Kristen Roach steals second base. Jackson was, Johnson actually was holding her off the base. Rice winds, and the 1-1 pitch to Harris is popped up to the right side. Taken by second baseman Stacy Tucker. That'll bring up the catcher, number 8, Lisa Southmayd. Lisa has 2 hits. She's tripled and she's singled so far today. And now has a chance to drives one right up the middle. And Lisa Southmayd has her 3rd hit of the game. And Southmayd teases Karen Horton, the first baseman, and takes second base. So Lisa Southmayd has her 3rd hit of the game. A smash up to center field, allowing Roach to take third base, and Wilmington has another threat going with 1 out in the 5th inning. We have runners on 2nd and 3rd, and it brings up Stacy Gillis. Stacy has lined out and grounded out. First pitch is by, the catcher. Roche is on the way in, and Roche is going to score the 4th run for Wilmington. As Rice wild pitches, Roche scores. And Wilmington now has a 4-1 lead. Now it brings up Gillis with a count of 1 ball. Southmayd on third base. And Stacy takes a mighty cut and misses. Strike 1. Pitch from Rice. Gillis lines one into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. It gets behind the left fielder, Lynn Claremont. And Gillis gets a hit and takes second base. Not sure how that'll be ruled. Maybe ruled a double, maybe ruled a single and an error. So Wilmington now has taken a 5-1 lead, and it'll bring up Nicole Dussault.
Keep it going, Nikki.
Nicole is hit into a fielder's choice and walked. Dussault earlier hit the ball that retired Southmayd at the plate, and she took second base. And her second time up, she walked and was pinch run for by Melissa Palermo, and Palermo eventually scored. Dussault lines one towards the shortstop, Jessica Johnson. Soft liner by Dussault. Now batting for the first time brings up Jacqueline Hayden. Jacqueline went in the field last inning, right field, for Kelly O'Donnell. First pitch to Jackie Hayden is a strike. Rice gets ready, delivers the 1-strike pitch. It's high, ball 1. Hayden takes a signal from Coach Lyman, steps in for the 1-1 pitch, and swings and misses, strike 2. Pitch to Hayden is fouled off the first base side. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Hayden steps back in with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. And hits one down foul outside third base. Pitch is high. We have a runner going. Stacey Gillis tried to steal third base and is thrown out. Looked like she might have get in under there, but ball was there ahead of time, so I guess when that happens, maybe you get the benefit of the doubt. It looked like she might have gotten under the ball. However, Wilmington now, after 4.5 innings of play, has a 5-1 lead. They scored 2 runs that inning with the help of 3 hits. And Faye naturally re-enters the game. Kristen Roche had pinch run for her. And Kristen stole a base and scored a run. A nice job of base running by Kristen. As the shortstop, Johnson, tried to physically tackle her and keep her from getting the base, but she was able to get there and get it, so eventually scored. we get ready to start the bottom of the 5th inning here. It'll bring up number 15, the catcher, Trisha Little, the number 9 hitter in the order, against Adrian Fay. First pitch from Fay in the bottom of the 5th is right down the middle, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, a little bit high from Adrian, 1-1. Actually, it was a lot high. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2. Nice low ball over the inside corner for strike 2. Tough pitch to hit. And Fay fires a 1-2 fastball right past Little. Little was just overmatched by that pitch. Now brings up the center fielder, Jessica Jackson. And Jackson is a single and a ground out. And again, she hit the ball very hard both times. Great play by Laurie Southmayd for the second time she was up. And this one hit again hard outside third base. It's down the left field corner. Foul zone, cuts it off and falls down. And Jackson ends up with a double. Looks like Erin Falzone caught her cleat or something on the turf out there and took a little bit of a tumble, but was able to recover quickly and get the throw into third base and hold Jackson to a double. It brings up Karen Rice, the pitcher, with 1 out. Off-speed pitch from Fay. In there for a strike. Rice had moved her hands up on the bat like she maybe was going to bunt or do something. Didn't really offer anything, just took the pitch. We'll see what she does now. Again, it's off speed. Hit to Southmayd. Southmayd up, throws over to Holloway. 2 down. On the play, Jessica Jackson takes third base. And with 2 outs now on the bottom of the 5th, it brings up first baseman Karen Horton. Horton today has struck out twice. First pitch, an off-speed pitch from Fay. Looked pretty good, but it was called for a ball. Fay's 1-0 pitch. Fastball thrown in there and fouled by Horton over first base and out of play. Well, Horton steps in again with 2 outs and then asks for time. Fay a little trouble getting the ball back from the umpire, and Horton was stuck in the box a little longer than she wanted to be, so now we're ready to play as Fay steps up with the 1-1 delivery. It's off-speed pitch again down into the dirt for ball 2. Fay winds and fires. Fastball high. Runner down third base, Jessica Jackson is taking some liberties down there and really getting a big lead. Catcher Lisa Southmayd has a terrific arm and will not be beyond picking her off. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. There's the throw, and they got her. Exactly as predicted. They tested Southmayd's arm, and Southmayd made her pay the price. Down 5-1. It's not a very sound strategy for Greylock to have a runner picked off third base. And she clearly was. The ball was there by Southmayd, and the tag was made by Nicole Dussault, and Jackson was retired.
Jody, did they have ice coffee? They have iced tea.
Okay, we're Getting ready for the top of the 6th inning here. Wilmington has a 5-1 lead over the Mount Greylock Mounties. And Fay seems to be settling down pretty well. Through 5 innings complete, the pitch count is pretty even. Fay has thrown 67 pitches. Rice has thrown 71. So both pitches are mostly around the strike zone. There haven't been too many walks at all. And leading off for Wilmington will be Jacqueline Hayden. Hayden was at bat when Stacy Gillis was thrown out stealing in the bottom of the 5th. Okay, so we're ready to begin the 6th inning here now with Jacqueline Hayden leading off. Hayden again was stuck in the box when Gillis was thrown out stealing. Hayden went into the game in right field replacing starter Kelly O'Donnell today. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Hayden steps in, Rice to the rubber, and throws. It's a ground ball towards third base. Jen Bump up with it, throws over to Karen Horton, and retires Jacqueline Hayden. Okay, Jacqueline got her bat in the ball. It brings us back to the top of the order now, and Laurie Southmayd. Southmayd has grounded out twice, once to shortstop, once to second base, and has doubled to left field. The ball rolled way out past the left field fence into foul ground, and she got a ground rule double. First pitch is high, ball 1. Pitch is high and inside, ball 2 from Karen Rice. So Southmayd has worked a 2-0 count. And Southmayd hits a hard line drive out towards second base, right at Stacy Tucker. Tucker moved to her left a little bit and took it. Hard hit ball, but just an out in the scorebook. Brings up foul zone. Aaron has 1 for 3, reached an error, singled, and grounded out. And she hits a ground ball towards third base. And Bump can't handle it. And Falzone beats it out and reaches base on the error. For the second time, she reaches on an error. That ball was a bouncing ball, and I think Bump expected it to come up, but it just didn't come up. And it looks like we'll have a pinch runner for Erin Falzone. And it'll be number 5, Julie Gillis. Julie is our pinch runner extraordinaire. She's a freshman, quite fast and very adept at base running. In fact, in the semifinals game against Carver, Julie had a crucial play to get the go-ahead run in for Wilmington. And now she's pinch running practically every tournament game so far, and now enters again. Okay, so now that we've taken care of the announcements of letting the umpire know what the change is, Gillis will be at first base, running with 1 out. Strike is to Nancy Pote, the number 3 hitter. Excuse me, there's 2 outs. Wouldn't be surprised to see Julie Gillis running here. Pote lines a long fly ball left field, and it goes foul and out of play. Count is now 2 strikes on Nancy Pote. Pitch from Rice is a changeup. Ends up down in the dirt. Julie Gillis had a good lead and drew a throw from catcher Little, but was back in the base at plenty of time. 2-strike pitch to Pote, and she grounds one up the middle. It goes over the glove of shortstop Jessica Johnson. Out to center field to Jackson. Goes by the third baseman, Jen Bump. And Julie Gillis takes third. Nancy Pote takes second. It'll bring up the pitcher, number 15, the number 4 batter in the lineup, Adrian Fay. Adrian smashed a base hit into center field her last time up. And that type of hit again could mean 2 runs for Wilmington. First pitch is swung on, fouled off at the plate. Rice took a little bit off that pitch, and I had Fay out in front of it just a little bit. Pitch from Rice. Drilled up towards second base. Was cut off by pitcher Karen Rice. That ball was going into center field. Rice made a nice play, knocked it down, picked it up, and threw Fay out. So at the end of 5.5, Wilmington leads 5-1. Falzone will be re-entering the game and going back out to left field. Out comes Julie Gillis, who ran for her.
Number 13, Aaron Falzone has re-entered to get up.
Okay, we're ready to begin the bottom of the 6th here. Wilmington is set defensively, and stepping up to the plate for Mount Greylock Mounties is the first baseman, number 9, Karen Horton. And the pitch from Fay is off speed, right in there. Adrian mixing speeds nicely today, took something off that pitch, and it was right in. And takes it off again, this time ball ground out past Southmayd into center field. And Horton ends up with a hit. We'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Boudreau. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Horton. Looks like it'll be number 11, Desiree Bellotta. She's a sophomore and plays third base. It's Desiree Bellotta at third base. And Boudreau steps in, takes the pitch from Fay. It's hit the plate, Fay up, and throws her out at first base. That was a hard swing by Boudreau. The ball just hit the plate and died right in front of the plate. Fay quickly responded, pounced on it, and threw Boudreau out at first base. And on that play, Bellotta took second. We now have 1 out. It brings up shortstop Jessica Johnson. And Johnson pops it towards right field. It's nice K by Nancy Pote. Tremendous catch. And the runner Bellotta gets doubled up off of second base. And that retires Mount Greylock in the bottom of the 6th inning. That ball was a lazy fly ball, drifting foul out behind first base. It looked like it was going to drop, and Pote came from nowhere and made a great play. She had her back to the runner. The runner Bellotta tagged from second base and tried to advance to third. Nancy Pote turned to make a nice throw to Dussault, who was covering the base, and they tagged her out to retire the side. Nice play all the way around by Nancy Pote. At the end of 6 innings, the score is Wilmington 5, Mount Greylock 1. See some activity in the Wilmington bench area. It looks like Jill Lojek's getting a helmet on, along with Amy Saran, and probably will do some pinch hitting this inning. Both freshmen. Coach Lyman giving them the opportunity to get into the championship game here. And it looks like that'll be the way Saran will be pinch hitting.
Number 1, Amy Saran is going to be pinch hitting for Leanne Harris.
Come on, Amy.
Okay, leading off for Wilmington will be number 1, Amy Saran. She'll be pinch hitting for Leanne Harris.
For the presentation of the state championship and state runner-up trophy.
Amy's a freshman who plays first base and pitches when she's not and steps in, gets set in the box, and Karen Rice steps up, and Saran is ready, and so is Rice, and the first pitch is outside for the ball. Okay, Rice ready. Pitch to Saran, lined out towards second base. Second baseman Stacy Tucker handles the ball and retires Saran. Well hit ball, but it was right at Tucker. Now brings up number 7, also a freshman, Jill Lojek. Okay, she'll be batting for Lisa Southmayd. Jill Lojek. Jill's a freshman who's been up several times in the tournament so far, pinch hitting, has hit the ball hard every time up. So, good experience here for the freshman to get into the game and hopefully whet their appetite for tournament play in future years. Rice throws the 1-strike pitch to Lojek. Lojek swings and misses. Big cut, pitch is a little bit high. A little bit jittery now for the freshman, but she got a good cut out of it. And Jill Lojek lines a base hit into right field. So Lojek was a little bit anxious there on the last pitch and swung at a high ball, but came back with a 2-strike pitch and lined one into right field for a base hit. Good job for the freshman. And looks like we're going to have Kelly Landers pinch hitting for Stacy Gillis.
Number 2, Kelly Landers is pinch hitting for Gillis.
Come on, Kelly. Keep it going, Kelly.
Be Kelly Landers, number 31. Kelly's a sophomore who is a backup pitcher. And she'll be getting her first opportunity to hit today. And Kelly swings and misses. Strike 1. Jill Lojek is on first base as on-deck hitter Nicole Dussault comes out. And Landis lines one under the glove of shortstop. Goes out to left field, gets fumbled around by the outfield. And Landers and Lojek end up on second and third base. Landers hit that ball very well. It went under the shortstop Johnson's glove, rolled out to left field, and left fielder Lynn Claremont bobbled it around a little bit, and the runners advanced. So we now have runners on second and third with 1 out and Nicole Dussault up. Hit back to the pitcher. Lojek on her way in and is retired. Okay. Lojek was running hard all the way. Had that ball been to any place else, she'd have been in, but was hit right back to the pitcher, and Dussault takes first base. And now up is number 12, right fielder Jacqueline Hayden. And Hayden follows one back and out of play. Hayden on the appeal to second base, tried to check her swing, but is a strike called. Ball was a little bit high. And Hayden lines one towards center field. Jessica Jackson camps under it, takes it, and retires the side. So we're coming up to the bottom of the 7th. And Wilmington has a 5-1 lead. As we retake the field and all the players that were pinch hit for re-enter. Southmayd at catcher. Harris in center field re-entering. Well, we come to the bottom of the 7th. The last chance for the Mount Greylock Mounties against Wilmington and Adrian Fay. Second baseman Stacy Tucker leads off. Pitch from Adrian Fay is fouled off. Back out of play. So we have a brief delay here as the umpire gets a couple of more balls from the maintenance people. And we have a 1-strike count on Stacy Tucker. Pitch from Fay is popped back again out of play. We have a 2-strike count on Tucker. And it's popped up. Southmayd under it, behind the plate and foul ground, takes the ball for out number 1 in the 7th inning. Nice play by Southmayd. There's an overhang here. The backstop overhangs, and that ball was perilously close to hitting that. But Lisa stayed with it and made the catch. Now brings up Jen Bump, the third baseman. Fay gets set. And it's grounded foul outside third base. And the pitch is high, ball 1 from Fay. One and 1 the count now to Jen Bump. Fay winds and fires. It's grounded foul. Pitch looked like it might have been a little bit low. Bump fouled it into the dirt off third base side. So now the count runs to 1 ball, 2 strikes, with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, and the Wilmington Wildcats leading 5-1. Fay winds with the 1-2 pitch. Changeup down in the dirt. Ball 2. Okay, Fay stays up for the 2-2 pitch to Bump. Changeup, a little bit high. Ball 3. A tough one for Jen Bump to lay off of. Didn't miss by too much, and it was enough taken off of it to be very enticing. Full count, not a bump, and Fay winds. Fastball, fouled off. So what makes Adrian Fay so tough is that she threw 2 or 3 off-speed pitches, then came back with a big fastball, and Bump was just able to get her bat on it. So Fay steps in for the 3-2 pitch, as does Jen Bump, and we're ready for the 3-2 again. It's foul deep towards left field, way out of play. Bump's doing a good job hanging in here. Fay's thrown some good pitches, and she's fouled off 2 with 2 strikes. Now the 3-2 pitch again. Change up again is high. So with 1 out, Jen Bump gets a walk and takes first base. Now up is number 7, the left fielder, Lynn Claremont. That was a good at-bat by Jen Bump. She worked hard for that walk. First pitch is high. And the throw. Throw to first base. Bump almost got caught off. Was a very close play, and very, very close play. In fact, it looked like she was out from here, but Southmayd's got a terrific arm. And Mount Greylock has run themselves out of innings a couple of times already today. Way high.
Come on, A, right in the glove, A. Play catch.
So the count is 2 balls on Lynn Claremont. High for ball 3. The count is run 3-0 now on Claremont. With a runner on first base and 1 out. Bay again is high, so Mount Greylock has a mild threat going here as the Wildcats confer at the mound. Reminiscent of last year's game where Wilmington was cruising into the last inning and gave up 2 or 3 runs in the last inning to make it a lot closer ball game than it was. We have the number 9 batter up. Trisha Little, the catcher. Faye winds and throws down a little bit low. Ball 1. Faye has now thrown 6 balls in a row, but she seems confident and relaxed out there. Pitch is high, goes by Southmayd, and the runners advance. Okay, Coach Lyman steps over and instructs the team just to get an out. At this point in time, the runners don't mean too much. Don't need nearly as much as the out does. And the batter, Trisha Little, gets hit with a pitch. So Mount Greylock has loaded the bases now with 1 out. And Jessica Jackson at the plate. Jackson hit the ball well all times today against Faye. Coach Lyman's out conferring with Adrian. Looks like the ball may have been a little bit slick in Adrian's hand. Oh, we're ready to continue here as the Mount Greylock Mountie fans start to go wild as the Mounties are threatening here in the bottom of the 7th. Faye winds and throws. First pitch is grounded towards shortstop Southmayd. Goes into left field. It goes by foul zone. And 3-run score for the Greylock Mounties. It makes the score now 5-4 with 1 out and a tying run on third base in the presence of Jessica Jackson. That ball went through the hole between shortstop and third base and was mishandled by foul zone. And clean the bases up. Wilmington coach Paul Lyman thought that one of the runners had missed second base, so he appealed. And the first base umpire ruled her safe. Now brings up pitcher Karen Rice, who has hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out twice. So a big spot here for Karen Rice. She can help herself. And Faye settles down now and throws a strike. There's one strike now on Rice with one out in the 7th inning in a 5-4 ball game. And Faye fires a fastball. Rice fouls it off. So the count runs to 2 strikes. Rice steps in. Faye steps in for the 0-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. Off-speed pitch. Must have slipped out of Adrian's hand and went down in the dirt a little bit. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Karen Rice. Rice lines one towards center field. Faye. And great play. Wilmington state champion 2 years in a row. Tremendous play by Leanne Harris. Fields a line drive to center field and throws the runner out at the plate. Tremendous finish to a wonderful game by Wilmington. Final play of the game, a great play by Leanne Harris to throw the tying run out at the plate to end the ball game as Wilmington repeats as Division II state champions. As you can see, the tremendous crowd of players out there. Wilmington is really excited about this, and it's very disconcerting, I'm sure, to Mount Greylock. It's the 3rd year in a row they've been to the state finals, and disappointed again, especially on a play like that. And it seemed sure that the runner on third base would definitely be able to score because that ball was hit well, but Harris came up shooting and really gunned her down on a tremendous play. So congratulations to the Wilmington Wildcats on their 2nd state championship in a row. I guess that's what you call making the big play at the big moment for Leanne Harris. There was also a great tag by Lisa Southmayd. Ball was off and up the third baseline just a little bit. Lisa handled it on the first hop and got the ball back in and made the tag. A great ball game and a great ending to the season for the Wilmington Wildcats. We'll have an award presentation right now, the state championship award ceremony. That'll take place momentarily, and then we'll try to get some interviews on the field.
Kelly.
That was so awesome. Oh, that was so happy dance.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to present First off, I'd like to congratulate both teams on a great season. Only 2 teams left in the state when you get to this point, and it's unfortunate one has to finish 2nd. And I'd like to have Mr. Jim Griffin, who's the Commissioner of O'Gara Park, present the runner-up trophy to Mount Greylock Mounties, the coach and captains, please.
Congratulations on a great season. And now the Division II State Championship trophy goes this year to the Wilmington Wildcats. Coach Captain.
You can't breathe. All right, maybe you heard a little something. Well, I'm
I think when we were up 5-1, I mean, it was. We were playing real well, and, you know, I mean, I think we thought we had it in hand pretty easily. But, you know, hey, they're a great team. They wouldn't be here if they weren't a great team, and they showed the kind of team they were and the character they had by coming back the way they did. And, you know, they got nothing to be ashamed of. They're a great team. My God, you know.
Southmayd a block on the play, too. On the
I'll tell you, for a freshman, she's, you know, she calls the pitches for Adrian all by herself. You know, she's a real intelligent kid to begin with. But, you know, and it shows, and she puts it into the game, and she's done a great job all year long. And that was a good way for her to cap it off.
Phyllis, can we move this over so we can get the field already? Thanks.
told me not to do that early, right?
Well, that's all right. Hey, you get the state champ. You can do anything you want. Thank you, gentlemen. You think Adrian was something to do didn't look to have that.
Yeah, I think both pitches were affected by the heat. There's no question about it. You know, I was watching Karen earlier in the game, and she looked like she was exhausted out there in the middle innings for them. And, you know, I think Adrian started to tire toward the end, definitely. But, you know, she was mixing earlier, and I think that helped her a little bit, keep them off balance in the middle innings. And I think when she started to lose a little bit there, she started to depend on the fastball, and she was throwing it high. But, you know, you don't win with one player, and, you know, you don't win with just a pitcher. We've been saying that all year long, and, you know, the defense bailed her out again today. So, but, you know, that's what makes a good team, I think.
Southmayd took away a hit that might have brought in 2 runs in the second inning.
I'll tell you, I thought she made 3 unbelievable plays out there today to keep the ball in the infield and prevent some runs. And early in the game, that's a big key. You know, we've said all year long, if we can go up early, that's our kind of game. And they would have been up, and that would have been a whole different ball game, I think.
They say it's always tougher the second time around. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was tough. I think last year we were, you know, it was just a high that we were on. This year was, I think it was harder in the season because everyone was gunning for them. Once we got out here, you know, you lose to a great team. It's not to be ashamed of. You know, I don't think the pressure today was a big deal. I think there was more pressure during the year getting here. You know, so.
Did it get to the point though where this team just felt like it couldn't lose? I mean, you just looked so confident at times. It seemed like every time you needed to make a big play, example, the end of the game here today, you guys always find a way to do it.
Well, you know, I think that's a credit to them. You know, they do find ways to win, and you know, they're good athletes. They're good ball players, and good kids find ways to win games.
Okay, thanks, John.
This is the beginning of a dynasty, 2 in a row, catching up.
These kids are good, obviously. They're young. We only graduate 2 seniors. So, you know, hopefully we'll have a shot at it again next year. You know, and there's a lot of young kids there, so it looks, you know, the future looks good, but it takes a lot of luck too.
He started Southern.
We'll try to get some more reaction from players and fans. Stacy Gillis here.
More or less, sir?
More because I'm a senior. It's my last game.
nice going out of gym. How much are you gonna miss this?
A lot. A lot. I played since I was a little kid, and it's nice to end it this way. It's nice to end your softball career with a state championship.
Did you play in the field last year?
Yes, I got hurt this year. Very bad.
What happened to the ankle?
I tore the ligaments in my leg and sprained my ankle.
Okay, what did you play last year?
Third base. Yep.
Was there ever any question about you not playing because of the injury, or you were always going to play, at least DHing?
DHing?
Tell me about the finger.
Too dramatic for you, an injury?
Yeah, after that hit. And when I walked the first two batters.
How's it feel to end your high school career with a
Good.
repeat?
Really good.
Where are you going next?
Merrimack?
Another good team.
Yeah.
What were your teammates say? You had some great defense behind you.
Yes. Really good defense. We had some good hits, too. Really, actually, we had a lot of good hits.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Adrian.
Thank you.
Nice game.
Thanks.
How do you feel?
Good. Excited.
Congratulations again. You look like you did tie it.
Yes.
Good luck. Approaching Mrs. Gail Holloway, we'd like some reaction from the parents on the repeat championship, the Wildcats.
I thought it was absolutely wonderful, and the girls did a great job. All of them, the whole team.
And what do you attribute that repeat to, primarily?
I think the girls all stuck together for a long, long season. You're going to see one game, but it was a long season for the girls, and they put a lot of work into it and deserve it.
Hey, congratulations to the parents as well. They've been there with the kids all the way.
I'm going to take this.
Let's see if we can get anybody on.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Lisa, great play to end the game. How do you feel?
Good. It was exciting.
A little bit intimidating. You're just a freshman here. You got 3 more years to come back, and you're going to go for 3 more, make it the drive for 5?
I hope so.
Congratulations. It was a great play to end the game and a great season overall.
Thank you.
Approaching assistant coach Jake Townsend.
I think she might have gone.
Congratulations, coach.
Thank you, Bob.
Jake is the assistant coach for his base. He doesn't get too much of the press play in town, but he's a very integral part of the team here. And what's your reaction to today's game, Jake?
You know, we were ahead. I thought we had it sewed up in the bottom of the 7th. It almost slipped away, but it was a great game.
Yeah, Jake.
That's a great team. They
Yeah,
hit hard. You know, Adrian didn't get a lot of strikeouts, but we played defensively well. We got them.
And what do you attribute the success of the team to, primarily?
Well, of course, we had good pitching, good defense, and in the last part of the season, good hitting. Everything came together at the end of the season, Bob. Really.
Well, we don't want to overlook good coaching either. I know you wouldn't say that, but you and Coach Lambert did an excellent job, and along with Coach Newman, congratulations again. This time I'd like to get a reaction from AD Jim Gillis.
A reaction? I'm excited, Bob. The girls worked very hard, and they just did a tremendous job, and we're proud of them. I just got off the phone with the superintendent. She says, gave me a message to tell the kids that she loves them and wear the T-shirts. I said, I'm going to go right out and get them. That's all. So, great year, great season.
Okay. It's not recognized sometimes, but there is a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that the AD has to do to prepare for the season and make it a pleasurable experience for the girls. And congratulations, Jim.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. We had a great bunch of kids, and they deserve everything they got because they worked very hard for it. So,
okay.
Great season.
Thanks, Ken. AD Jim Gillis holding up the MIAA Softball Division II State Championship trophy. As you can see, it's a nice trophy. And I'm sure it'll look nice in the trophy case at Wilmington High School.
Well, it has a book in right now, so, it'll look nice in there.
Very good. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
has an opportunity to score early in this game. That's what they need to do, take an early lead. The pitch. She's going to bunt it down the first base line. Nice bunt. The run will score. Everybody is safe. And Wilmington takes a 1-0 lead. Faye going for her 40th career win. The pitch. Strike 3. Take a seat. Jackie Parella put another balloon up on the fence there for Adrian Faye. Her 6th. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Count will remain. Wilmington with a 1-0 lead. A 1-0 lead for Wilmington. Trying to hold the lead with runners at second and third. Bottom of the 7th inning, the last inning. Line drive. She makes the catch. Wilmington will move on to the 4th round after a dramatic finish, eliminating Reading. And Wilmington will play the winner of Westford Academy and Stoneham. Very happy Wilmington team. They move on to the 4th round. An exciting finish it was, and Wilmington does win it. That one, long drive. That'll be extras for sure. Oh, that's going all the way to the wall. Southmayd could have an inside the park home run. Rounding third, the plate. Laurie Southmayd leads off with an inside the park home run. Get a running bases, at least. Get a running base. Laurie Southmayd's the one that hit the inside the park home run off Stacey Thistle before, and she could do it again. There'll be another extra base here for Southmayd. It could be another home run. Southmayd rounding second and going to third. She's gonna keep going. No, she's gonna stop at third. Looked like she was gonna. It looked like she was gonna go for a home run.
Stop Jessica Johnson. And Johnson popped it towards right field. It's nice K by Nancy Pote. Tremendous catch. And the runner Bellotta gets doubled up off of second base. And that retires Mount Greylock in the bottom of the 6th inning. That ball was a lazy fly ball, drifting foul out behind first base. It looked like it was going to drop, and Pote came from nowhere and made a great play. She had her back to the runner. The runner Bellotta tagged from second base and tried to advance to third. Nancy Pote turned to make a nice throw to Dussault, who was covering the base, and they tagged her out to retire the side. Nice play all the way around by Nancy Pote. And the count is now 1-1 on Lisa Southmayd as she steps in. And Rice steps up, and the pitch is lined into right field. And it goes over the right fielder's head, rolling all the way to the fence. Southmayd takes turn round first, round second base, and is going to be into third base, standing up with a triple. That ball was hit deep to the opposite field over the head of right fielder Brooke Boudreau. Seemed like Boudreau hesitated a minute and didn't get a chance to get back on the ball properly. But it'll go as a 3-base hit for Lisa Southmayd, leading off the 2nd inning for Wilmington. And the pitch from Rice. Fade. Harris drives one over the third base bag. Falzone scores. Pote scores. And Harris ends up with a second base with a double. That's a case for a chin bump. The third baseman came in a little bit too far, and Harris just turned on it and drove the ball right by her. So Wilmington now has scored 2 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. Harris has advanced to second base. There's 1 out, and Lisa Southmayd is up. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Karen Rice. Rice lines one towards center field. In. Great play. Wilmington state champion 2 years in a row. Tremendous play by Leanne Harris. Fields a line drive to center field and throws the runner out of the plate. Tremendous finish to a wonderful game by Wilmington. Final play of the game, a great play by Leanne Harris. The throw, the tying run out at the plate to win the ball game as Wilmington repeats as Division II state champions. As you can see, the tremendous...